Konnichiwa minaboku wa Jeremy desu. Yoroshiku onegai shimasu. And it's time to talk about a few things leading into the grand final, which is, at the time of recording of this, tomorrow. And I'm super excited for this. I've been on the ride probably more this year for everything than I have in previous years as well, too. But I'm just super excited. Let's talk about the running order. Let's talk about a couple of other things as well, too. So first of all, we have the official running order, as you could see on the screen there. Who's opening the show? Well, Austria. Po, 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 po. Edgar Allan Poe. Great opener. I have a feeling the ladies will bring much more energy this time than they did at the semifinals. They made it into the grand final. They're opening the show. Like, this is a great song to do it. I'm so glad that they are in this position, because could you imagine starting a show off with like a ballad or something like that? How boring that would be. But no, Austria in first position. Very, very, very good. Portugal. Mimi Cat. I love this song. Ai Coração. Perfect to go next. People call this the dead zone or something like that, or the death position. I don't know about that. I mean, it's just a position. Again, they will play the order for you at the end of everything as you're going into voting, so it's not like, I don't know. When it comes to televote, I think it's a little different than being actually in the arena for stuff. And don't forget, the juries are also going to be involved too. So we have jury vote mixed with the televote as well too. So I think Portugal's going to do fine. Switzerland after that, that's going to be a jury darling, of course. Probably get way more votes there. But as we saw, Switzerland went through in the first semifinal as well too, which is great. Or first or second semifinal? First semifinal. That's right, because Greece was in the second one. Switzerland and Greece were very similar for me, kind of sounding songs and stuff, but obviously Victor didn't do as great as Remo did. But anyway, Switzerland is in, so that's great. Poland. Poland is very polarizing with a lot of people. I mean, Blanka put on a great show. It's kind of a bland song in relation to everything else. That's just my opinion of it, and I'll get into that in a few minutes when we talk about my how I would like to see it go at the grand final for the scoring and so on, placings. Serbia is next. Luke Black, probably a good one to have right after Poland, kind of bring things up again. It's a bit of a dark-ish song, very video game, manga, anime-esque style. I love anime and stuff. I don't connect with this particular song as much. I mean, it's not as catchy as like last year's. Betis Drava. I love that. Love it. And of course, Molitva. I love that song too. From 2007? 2008? 2007. Yeah. Then we have France. Now, a lot of people have said that Lazara's vocals aren't that great. I mean, you could tell in the semifinal when they were showing, like, the clip that she chose to show. Maybe that was intentional, because maybe it's gonna put people kind of like, oh, I don't know, and then she's gonna come and she's gonna show you exactly what she is capable of, Miss Canadian Lazara, who is representing France. I don't know. Of the big five, a lot of people think that Spain is the one to watch out for, and Spain's going to be coming up after Cyprus. So France and then Cyprus. Cyprus is a generic kind of ballad. I mean, he put on a good show. It is kind of like what did ESC Tom say? Kind of like a Mortal Kombat thing, like the way he was, like what he was wearing and stuff when he performed it. So, but good, like he did put on a good performance and stuff. I just think that in the grand scheme of things, it's probably going to not be super, super high in the top 10 or whatever, or top, running results. There we go. Spain, of course. Spain is another dark horse. People are talking about Blanca Paloma, and did I say Blanca Paloma earlier when talking about Poland? That's a different Blanca. Blanca Paloma is the Spain one. So sorry if I made that mistake. I don't know. In my head, I'm thinking that I said it wrong before. But Ea is the one to watch from what most people are saying. Could be the dark horse to even overtake Sweden or Finland, who of course are still number 1 and 2 in the odds. Sweden's still number 1 in the odds, and my personal favorite. Albania, I'm so glad that Albania made it in. They're amazing. They have that very ethnic sounding song to them. The family all together, like you can just feel the love there, and I love that they are here. Italy, our next big 5 member. I don't know how Italy's going to do. Like Marco Menzone, I think is his name. Very, very nice voice. Very, very slow song. So I haven't really seen much other than little clips here and there, but we'll see on the day of. Estonia, Alika puts on a great performance. They have the frickin' player piano, which I love, so I'm super excited for that. And, you know, with Estonia where it is, and then Finland following to bring up that energy again. Karja is kind of middle placed. Not even, well, yeah, he is. He's exactly middle placed. 13 out of 26. So it's a great way to close out the first part of the grand final. If that's how they do it, I mean, they might just choose to block them off in like groups of 5 or 4 or whatever, instead of like just a halfway point, and then just, you know, run through the songs, do a little break, run through the songs, break, run through the songs, and you know what, until they get through all 26, and then put like the extra songs and performances in there. Dowdy Fryer is supposed to be in there from Iceland, among others. And apparently there's going to be a lot of other previous Eurovision stars. I wonder if Ruslana from Ukraine is going to be in there, and maybe Go A and a bunch of other Ukrainian acts. We'll have to see. I mean, we've seen Scooch is at the contest. They made an appearance the other day. Dustin the Turkey was there. And then on Hollyoaks, they had, I don't remember her name. I am so sorry. But they had one of the Eurovision former stars on there as well. Hollyoaks. I love Hollyoaks. Really love Hollyoaks. Okay. Second part of the grand final. Czechia. I love them. Great start for the second part. If they do split it in half, that's going to be a great way to start off that next part. They have a great energy to them. These girls are amazing, and also probably going to be jury darlings with the way that everything is set up. Absolutely amazing song. Following that is Australia, who they closed out semifinal 2. Yeah. And like just put on a huge show. Following that is Belgium. And people are saying that Belgium might get kind of lost between the Australia, like insane energy of that, and then the more pulled back at first, and then like in your face performance of Armenia. So kind of the more all over the place. And I don't know. Belgium, when they announced Gustav yesterday, he was like, everybody was super excited for it. So I don't know. Belgium's going to be a dark horse, really. I don't think it's going to win the contest, but he could end up in the top 10. It's difficult to say. All right, Armenia. I mean, Armenia was one of the strongest ones of the second semifinal, and going into this song is definitely. A lot of people compare this one with Israel. The songs are different in style in many ways. Israel's is a little more disjointed. Armenia's kind of flows a little bit better, and they have a really, really good chance. Armenia's coming up with some really great music. Look at Snap last year. Took the radios by storm all over the world. Moldova is next. We get a little bit of ethnic pop, kind of cultural, country, folky paganism. A lot of people are also wrongly saying this is more satanic. It is not. It is pagan, and it's very well done. It stands out just like Albania does. I still don't think it's going to be super, super high, but, you know, a lot of people slept on Zabzi Dub last year, and hey ho, let's go folklore and rock and roll. And look they were in top 10, so who knows what's going to happen here with Pasha. Ukraine, one of my least favorite songs. I don't really care for it. I mean, it's okay. A lot of people have it high up, like a lot of the bookies are looking at it as being high up, like 4th or 5th place, and that's probably just because they think it's going to be just people throwing their support for Ukraine for what's happening right now. For me, it's a weaker song. It's not my cup of tea, but I mean, hey, great that they're there. And of course, the host country this year. Norway, Queen of Kings. Alessandra is in a really good position here. She opened the show in semifinal 1. She's kind of towards the end with this, and has a great energy, so I don't think that we're going to lose too much on that. And don't forget, she is the highest streaming song so far for Eurovision 2023. So that's got to give her some good propulsion. Some people don't tune in for the semifinals and only tune in for the grand final. So maybe that extra bit of oomph is going to help her get a top 10 finish, maybe even a top 5. Germany is next, the second last of the big 5 in this running order. Again, not my favorite style of music. They are great performers. They did a really, really good cover of Cha 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 as well, too. Like it's very, very well done, and definitely in that same wheelhouse. Are they going to steal votes from Karia? Maybe. Who knows? Then we have Lithuania. I love this song so much. Chuto, tuto, chuto, tuto. And I realized that the song has changed a little bit, because when the official karaoke was put out and I did a cover, I was basing my cover on the original version that she performed at the national final for Portugal, and it's different. It's different. And I was thrown off. I'm like, this doesn't make sense, but now I know why. It's different. But I mean, it's a beautiful song, and Monica's voice is absolutely amazing. I would not be surprised if this was top 10 finisher material as well. Israel. I mean, like I said before, it's kind of disjointed. It almost feels like 4 songs kind of put together haphazardly. There's a dance break. There's all sorts of stuff. Don't get me wrong, though. Like, it is a show. This woman puts on a show. Noah has come to slay, and she does. So this is definitely also, in my opinion, going to be a top 10 finisher, I would say. Slovenia. Now, Slovenia, it was probably going to come down between Slovenia and Georgia as to who got in the semifinal, and Slovenia took it, of course. Kind of a lot of people were surprised that Georgia didn't make it in, and kind of sad because, you know, they're a non-qualifier again. But it is what it is. It happens, unfortunately, and I think Slovenia was the more popular choice. They had a huge amount of fans. Will this one also eat away at Karia's ability to get like the televote points? Maybe. It's a similar style, not quite. Like, I mean, Cha 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 is kind of out there. It touches on a lot of things, not just the rock element of things. So, you know, Australia, Germany, and Slovenia's fans might. I don't know if it's going to eat away too much at Finland. I mean, Finland's got a lot there, but it's still very likely between Sweden and Finland, in my opinion. And the juries are going to favor Loreen most likely. A lot of people are going to think of Loreen as like, you know, her name is synonymous with Eurovision. I hope that she wins for a few reasons. One, because I think the song is better. I love it. It's constantly playing on my list. I'm singing it all the time over Cha Cha Cha. I mean, Cha Cha Cha's moved up because it's, you know, it is also very gets in your head and stuff. And honestly, he has grown for me a lot, especially watching the performances. And he's such a nice guy. You could just see it, very genuine too. But I still love Sweden. I think that if Sweden wins, this will be only the second time in history so far that a artist has won twice for their country, and this would be the first time a woman has won twice for her country. And not only that, it would put Sweden on par with Ireland for the most wins, and maybe Ireland would then have to start thinking, hey, you know, we really gotta worry about this now. Okay, Croatia's next. You know, Croatia going second last is awesome. It's a memorable song anyway. Whatever order they went in, it's a memorable song. Just for the niche and the whole thing of it all, I think that it's gonna get. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it was even a top 10. A lot of people don't like it. They don't understand it. It's very tongue in cheek. It's an awesome song. It's very anti-Putin, but in a way that it doesn't exactly spell it out, even though it kind of does. Mama bought a tractor. Belarus gave a tractor to Russia, kind of buying, you know, their whatever. It's kind of like backwards. Mother being like motherland Russia. Mama raised a psychopath. Russia raised a psychopath. You know, it's very well tongue-in-cheek, very well done. And then United Kingdom to finish things off, our final of the Big Five. And honestly, the way that it's laid out this way, like the Big Five are all over the place. You have 2 in the first part, 2 in the second, 2 in the third. Like just looking at the columns, it's very well laid out, very thoughtful in how the running order is, whether that's producers that decided it that way. It's going to work out really, really well for a balanced and good show, even though someone was saying there's kind of like a weird, maybe Italy and Estonia together is kind of strange. Spain and Sweden together is a bit strange. But it's not really even super, super strange. It's just kind of like similar songs or like Spain and Sweden are both like super big contenders as well too. So I don't know. It might just be it might just be how it fit best, honestly. So okay. Now we're at the point of kind of guessing what's going to happen. So I have two ways I want to do this. I have slideshows set up again. And the first one is how I would like to see, if it was up to me and just me, and it's kind of, whatever, this would be my choices of the final placings of everybody. And then after that, I'm going to get into the how I think it's actually going to go, just in general. So starting off, last place. Look, I said before, this song is kind of boring to me. It's a summer bop. She performed it really, really well. There's a lot of controversy around it. For me, it's one of my least favorite songs of the whole set. So next up would be Ukraine. Again, this is in no way like as if I'm not in solidarity with them, because I don't think that what Russia's doing is right. I really don't. I am of Russian descent. I've never been to Russia, but I mean, my family is part Russian. I'm 50% Russian, and I condemn what Putin has done. Like I just finished saying, I'm super happy about Croatia and their tongue-in-cheek song about him. But I just don't really care for this song. I've tried to listen to it a few times, and I'm just like, I don't know. It's just not for me. So 24th place, Carpe Diem, Joker Out. They have their fans. They're a great band. I've heard that they're wonderful, wonderful guys. They're just having fun. It's good that we have a band in there, like not just one, but a few of them. I was a little worried that they were going to fall to the same curses like Malta and a few others, but they made it in, and it's just not, again, it's not on my playlist. It's not a song that I care to listen to over and over again. I don't really find it super for me, for my tastes. Again, same with Germany. It's not my style of music. Lord of the Lost, like they're amazing. They're the way they present themselves, and how they're so supportive of the LGBT community, which is fantastic. I love that. Screamo kind of rock stuff has never really resonated with me. So just saying. Voyager, same thing. Australia, like the rock kind of music. They did put on an amazing show to close the semifinal, and I do like that one part about the piano guitar thingy that they use. I forget, there's a specific name for it, but it's very neon feeling, and that evokes like a nostalgia feeling. But like when he does that part where he's like, I'm just like, pulls me right out of the song. So Belgium, Because of You, just another one that's not really on my playlist. I mean, it's a good song, good performance, solid performance. They have that duck dance in there, which I don't understand how that doesn't blow people's knees out in all honesty. But he was so emotional when he was announced getting into the grand final, and that was awesome. So I'm really happy that we have this song in there. And again, it's different too from a lot of the others. A little bit dated to some people's likes, but I'm just saying. Number 20, Mae Muller. I mean, I've said before, I really wish that they would have gone with Rina Sawayama. I love her song with Hold the Girl, but they'd have to choose a different one, of course. Mae Muller's okay. This song does play here in Canada. I've heard it on one of our stations, Energy 98. At work, it plays all the time, and I'm always telling my coworkers, I'm like, hey, that's a Eurovision song. Just like, just a little bit plays all the time, and Snap, too. So those are like the 3 Eurovision songs that they play at my work on that station. But I think it's a weak song. I mean, I know it's very catchy and stuff, but it's just, for me, it's very bland. So, Duvite by Marco Mengoni for Italy. There's a lot of songs that are higher up for me, just in terms of what I would listen to more. And he's got an amazing voice, but it's not my thing. Number 18, same thing, Blanca Paloma, Spain. Ea seems such a weird song to me. It's very out there. I do normally like the out there kind of strange ones. Maybe it's because it's also in Spanish. I don't really connect with it as much. She goes all out with her performances, and that's awesome. I really appreciate that, and I do love the ethnic and the like your own singing in your own language stuff, like bringing that cultural stuff in there. But again, it's just not super high up for me. Number 17, Lazara from Canada, who is representing France. Évidemment is a okay song. I just find it in some ways kind of like Voila. There's like a film noir aspect to it. We've seen some rehearsal video. I've seen some rehearsal videos and pictures. Her voice is kind of okay in there. She reminds me of like the Canadian version of Lady Gaga. I think I mentioned that before, just her look and stuff like that too. She's got the very French kind of way about her as well too. It's just and you know, I'm quite curious because everybody says that Quebec French and France French are super different, and I wonder how she's how she gets along speaking with the other French people. Like obviously, there's I don't know where I'm going with this, but it's just interesting. Like the if there is even a language barrier there, I'm sure it's super close enough that there isn't. But anyway, not a big player for me. Luke Black again, you know, I love anime, I love manga, I love video game stuff. It's just this song in particular. His vocals were quite weak sounding in the semifinal, at least on the television. I heard that apparently in the arena it was completely different, but he just, and this happened to a few of them. Even Riley was like that too with Denmark. And I don't know if it was just a stylistic choice, if it was a microphone problem, if it was the music was too loud or whatever. But this song is kind of just a little out there. But it's like kind of at my, you know, they're kind of lower end, but not like super low, kind of more mid. He puts on a decent performance, and it's very different, a very interesting song, but not quite my cup of tea. Number 15, Andrew Lambro, a safe song, Break a Broken Heart. He's got an amazing voice. He's absolutely beautiful, man. But he's like, it's a good song. He's got the vocals there. There were some parts at the semifinal where he was a little bit pitchy, and I mean, it happens. It could possibly be nerves and stuff like that too. But I mean, he puts on a great show and he's got the vocals for it, and we know he does. Okay, number 14, Remo Forer, Switzerland, one of the younger guys. This song has a great message to it. They've changed the staging from what the music video originally showed. He pulls it off really well. I think that you can see him kind of anticipating the next movements and stuff, so it does seem a little blocky, but in general, like, he's got a really good voice, and he doesn't want to move around too much, or you're going to sacrifice some of your voice stuff for it. Unlike a seasoned performer like Noah, or even Brunette, you know, where they can move around and not be super breathy. Same with Chanel from last year. He'll get there. I'm sure he'll get there eventually. A lot of male singers aren't necessarily expected to be like, and we use expected compared to the girls to be doing dance breaks and stuff, unless they're in a boy band sort of thing. But you know, he's got a good, I think he's got a good thing going. Albania, I love Duya, I love Albina and Familia Kelmindi. Unfortunately, Albania gets kind of the shit end of the stick over the years. They don't always play super high, and I'm fearful that that's going to happen this year. We'll get into that in my next little bit. But I personally really like this song, and I think they're adorable, and I'm so happy her family's there performing with her because it adds such a nice element to it. Alika, Estonia, like I said before, I love the player piano. I really do. I love that her whole stage presence. Her voice is amazing. She moves around the stage. She's got beautiful staging. Just a lot of absolutely amazing things coming together, and I live for it. Number 11, Pasha Parfeni with Moldova's Soarele si Luna, Sun and Moon, and very paganistic, very different, out there, in your face, very like the flute. I mean, it's kind of evoking like what Ukraine did last year with Kalush Orchestra, in a bit of a different way, and I don't know. I like it. I think it's just very nice. Number 10, Brunette, Future Lover from Armenia. Super strong performance. Just another one of those songs that's not necessarily always going to be something I listen to continuously, but it's definitely up there. Number 9, Unicorn, same thing by Noah, for Israel. It's such a fun song. It's all over the place. If you can learn the dancing and stuff, great. But it's a very empowering song as well, too. Number 8, Mimi Cat, Ay Corazao. I love it. It's very cabaret style, very burlesque style, very like Spanish flamenco, and just fun, and many, many different elements in there that I think we need just to throw the different stuff in there. And I love her. This song is on my playlist all the time. I'm listening to it constantly, and I think it's fun. Number 7, Mama let me say, or like I've said before, their tongue-in-cheek, out there insanity is absolutely what I live for, and I'm so happy they're in there, because you need to have an entry in there that goes out there. And these guys are awesome. They're older gentlemen as well too, but they are having a blast, and they're so fun to watch, and I love it. Number 6 this is so funny, because Alessandra was started as my number 1 overall with Queen of Kings, and then moved down to number 2 when Lorraine was announced with Tattoo. And now it's all the way down to number 6, because all the remainders for me are just stronger performances and songs that I listen to so much more regularly. But Queen of Kings, again, Alessandra has a great chance of a top 10 finish anyway. She is up there in the streams. It's awesome. She's got a great energy to her. She has so much fun. Her costuming is great. I just wish the staging was a little bit more elevated, but her voice hopefully will be on amazing for tomorrow. Hit that high note, hit everything else. I think she's got it for sure. Number 5, Monica Linkite. Stay. I love this song. The whole staging of it is very reminiscent of what Portugal did last year. Kind of. Except that was more subdued. This one's way more in your face and way more vocal. Very powerful. Beautiful ballad. Absolutely love this song. Monica was probably one of my winners of the second semifinal. She's just so good and is so amazing. Number 4, Taya and Selena. I love Who the Hell is Edgar. Their performance was a little lackluster, a lot of people are saying, and I think that was mostly just to guard their voices and stuff so they didn't get too pitchy or out of breath, and it worked. But I would like to see them throw more energy into their performance tomorrow as the openers. I think they're going to do amazingly well, and absolutely a top 5 most likely, in my opinion. Number 3, Vesna. These guys are amazing. These girls are still my number 3. They haven't moved, even though Alessandra has. My Sister's Crown, beautiful song. Absolutely amazing. Great message. They've taken some elements from their music video and they've brought them to the stage. They've changed things up a little bit. It's going to be an absolutely 50-50, perfect with the jury, perfect with the televote. Everything is coming together, and if they perform it like they did at the semifinal, absolutely top 10. Amazing. Number 2, Karia, Cha Cha Cha. I mean, like I said, I was not a huge fan of this song, but it definitely does grow on you. And you could hear the whole arena was just chanting Cha 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 Cha. I mean, it's just one of those things. It's a crowd pleaser. His vocals weren't that great, though, in the semifinals. So if he fixes that, I don't know. I mean, this could be a great contender. But a lot of people, myself included, do think that the juries are going to maybe not score him as high as they will with Lorraine. It's really going to come down neck and neck between these two. I still fully believe that, and it's still sitting in the bookies right now. Sweden is still number 1. We'll see how that goes. And number 1, of course, Tattoo, the Queen, Lorraine. I honestly, of her 3 entries that she's brought for Eurovision, I say 3 because honestly, Statements should have gone through Melodifestival in 2017. It should have gone through. Of those 3 songs, Statements, Euphoria, and Tattoo, Statements is my favorite right now. I kind of do like Tattoo better than Euphoria, but that's just me. Maybe it's because I heard Euphoria after the whole cheer and joy and everything of Eurovision at that time. I'm going into this Eurovision with this song being the one that I've attached to Lorraine, even though I've heard of Euphoria. To me, Tattoo just resonates more. I do love all 3 songs. I love Lorraine as an artist. She's amazing. She doesn't care either. She's just in it to have fun. Everybody's like, well, why would you come back? You have so much to lose. And she's like, I'm just here to have fun. That's what it's all about. Performing is about having fun. Whether she comes second, third, whatever, or first and wins, there's a lot of stuff there. She's just there to have fun, and people love her. And she's just so much fun. And I keep hearing that about the interviews too. People love her and Katia. So amazing, amazing. So that's my choices, how I would like to see it. I also want to, before I go into the next part here, I want to do a shout out to a couple of things. Now, first of all, Alicia Dixon in semifinal 1, breaking into that rap, that was amazing. Alicia, Hannah, and Julia are absolutely killing it as the hosts. So amazing. Like, all three of them have great personalities and they work really well off of each other. Graham Norton's going to come into the mix tomorrow, so we'll see how he is. I noticed they have Alicia out into the audience, and they have Julia and Hannah. So you have Ukraine and UK hosts there, and that balances out really well. So I'm interested to see how Graham fits into this. He's been an announcer for so long over the years, and I think people are going to miss that. But Catherine Tate is coming in as the announcer, I think, for the the UK, for the person that's like as the going on commentator. There we go, commentator, because Graham's going to be a host. So they also announced this morning that Luxembourg is coming back next year after many, many years of being away. So that's awesome. I haven't had the official announcement about Canada yet, but we keep getting told that Canada is going to be doing Eurovision Canada to pick someone to go into Eurovision for Canada next year, which is awesome because I really want to put my hat in the ring. You know, I don't know if I'd have a chance, but you know, whatevs. And also yesterday when they did that thing, the Queen machine, where the hostesses went into this machine and then out popped drag queens, that was awesome. That was very, 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 very well done. I don't understand what the Peppa Pig thing was. Like, maybe just because it's a UK icon sort of thing. I almost expect Teletubbies to show up at some point. But and then they did an interview with Dustin the Turkey, and Scooch was there, and a few others. I like how they're integrating them in there. I do think that that's awesome. But yeah, so I think that's mostly what I wanted to say. Okay, let me just change over here, and let's see, where is it? Slideshow. How do I start the slideshow? You know, I should know this already, but I don't. There we go, slideshow. Okay, now this one is my predictions for the grand final of the Eurovision Song Contest. This is how I think it's actually going to go. I did a prediction for the semifinals. I was basically totally right on the first one. I had a few wrong on the second one. This one's a lot harder because this is like the cream of the crop, and we're throwing in the big five as well. So, just based on popularity of song, performance of songs, and just in general what we've heard from the media, what's been covered, pictures, video, seeing the performances at the semifinals, and again, just the clips for the big 5 plus Ukraine, just because we haven't seen the full thing. That's what we're basing it on. So, number 26. As I mentioned, I think that Albania is probably going to get the shit end of the stick. I don't like saying that. It's such a good song. It's so cute. But in terms of popularity, it has been kind of on the lower end for so long. And in general, with more people watching and just the other songs and stuff in there, I kind of think this is going to be the last place of the grand final. I don't like saying that. I really don't. But there's got to be a last place. I don't want it to be Albania. I really don't. But just a feeling. And I hope I'm wrong. Please, please let me be wrong. Let Poland be last place. That was mean. She did a really good job. Poland did. Everybody's done such a great job. So this is super hard to do. Number 25, Belgium. Again, there was a huge uproaring of the crowd in the arena. Obviously, the televote loved him in the semifinal, but again, that's in that semifinal. This is up against many, many, many strong songs. And because of the fact that this one feels dated, like, it's still fun. And again, I hope I'm wrong that it would go low, but I just a gut feeling. We'll see. 24, Blanca, you know, again, she puts on a polished performance, but the song itself is kind of safe. It's a summer song. It's kind of got a reggae style to it. Okay, great. It is a little different that way, but I mean, if it's between this and May Muller, I would say the two songs are very similar, except I Wrote a Song is a lot more speedy and boppy and stuff. So I don't know where else to put Poland, in all honesty. There we go. I Wrote a Song. That's why it's above Poland in this. I just think it's too generic, though. Like, compared to Sam Ryder's last year, this one's quite a generic sounding song. It is on the radio, like I said. It's kind of all over the place, and it, a lot of people do like the dancey songs, but with the other songs ahead of it, I don't know. Number 22, Serbia. A lot of people love him. His song is very different, but it's a little too different, I think. And for the general mass of the public, I don't think it's going to be way up there. Again, I could be wrong. We have seen some surprises in the past, but it's one that's hard to connect with for a lot of people in general. Nerdy people, geeky people, yes. But some people, I've even just comments I've seen, they're like, what is this? Like, this isn't even music. But they said that about Constracta last year too, in that song. Number 21, Lord of the Lost. Again, it's rock bands. It's all over the place. And Eurovision has a strange way of not really crowning the same style of music 2 years in a row. I mean, again, 2018 we had 2015 we had Mons with his song Heroes. 2016 was Jamala, a song that was kind of like a folky, kind of weird, like that was a very, very avant-garde song. 2017 we had Duos Los Dios, or whatever that one's called. Very slow, boring, in my opinion, song, but it won. And then 2018 was like the exact opposite. That was a bop. That was Toy by Netta. 2019 we had Arcade by Duncan Lawrence. 2021 we ended up with Maneskin winning with a rock song. 2022 we had Kalush Orchestra with kind of like a rap folk song. So it's unlikely that a rock song or rap whatever song is going to win this year, just following the general niche thing over the years, and I think these guys will probably finish in the mid-range just in general. 20, Ukraine. There is a lot of support for Ukraine. These guys are being placed pretty high up by the bookies. I don't think it's going to be that high. The song is not as strong as previous entries. It's kind of just another safe bet, I would say. I'm not really one for R&B kind of rap. I mean, it's not even super rappy at all. It's just R&B kind of, I don't even know what you'd call it. But anyway, 19, again, Voyager, this is probably Australia's last year, at least contracted last year. We'll have to see what happens, if they're going to come back or not, or if Canada's replacing them, or if Luxembourg is replacing them, or whoever. As we know, there's still lots of open spots for 2024, unless we have North Macedonia and Bulgaria and Montenegro come back, or, some of the others. We'll have to see. But, they do put on a good show, but I don't think it's going to be a top 10 in all honesty. 18, Mamash by Let 3. Again, they are a very niche band. Not a lot of people understand the amazingness of this song. It's not one that you would necessarily listen to on your radio all the time or on a playlist, I don't think. But it is so much fun and it's very different. And I think fitting them in around this area is probably where they're going to be. I'd love to see them in the top 10, though, honestly. I really, really would. They are not a joke entry. They are very much this is us, this is our style. And they have a really good statement out there, too. And we've seen what happened with statements. That's a loaded thing there, because Statements by Loreen didn't make it into Eurovision, but the statement made by Ukraine last year, well, there you go. Number 17, Pasha Parfeni. Again, this is kind of like the Kalush Orchestra style, I would say. But it is different enough. I don't think it's going to be a top 5. I don't. Maybe it could it could sneak into the top 10. Like I said, Moldova's done it before. But I think around the mid scale is where it's going to end up. Number 16, Cyprus. Again, it's a safe song. He's got a good voice, but the song is kind of generic. Again, jury will probably like it. Televote will probably be okay with it, but it's not going to be like their 12-point song for the most part. Greece is probably going to give them 12 points, historically speaking, but we'll see what happens there. Joker out, these guys could actually go higher. They could go into the top 10, but another rock band with the other songs that are coming next, I think are of a higher caliber, higher performance value, jury favorites, mixed with televote favorite. But these guys, like I said, I'd be surprised if they did end up in the top 10. I'm just placing them here because I wasn't really sure where else to put them. Alika, her voice is amazing. The juries are going to love that. She moves around the stage a lot. There's that damn player piano, which I keep talking about, but I love. That's awesome. I'm so glad they brought that in there. She's amazing. Absolutely stunning performance. Like, her vocals were flawless. And if she brings that again, yeah. Again, I wouldn't be surprised if that was a top 10. Remo for Switzerland, this song, a lot of people sleep on it, but really this guy he's so young and his vocals are amazing. And the song, it's very timely, especially with what's going on with Russia and Ukraine right now and other wars and stuff too. But like, really, you start playing with water guns. You don't want to play with a real gun. You don't want to have to go be a soldier, deal with blood and all that sort of thing. It's totally different. Totally different. 12, Mimi Cat. I love I Corazao. There's a lot of other strong and popular songs that I think are going to edge her out of the top 10. I would love to see her in the top 10, the song is very different. There's a good chance it could be there, but I think 12 is probably a safe bet somewhere around that area. Number 11, Marco Mengoni. His vocals are amazing again. I would almost even switch 11 and 12, but Italy's a favorite, and it's one of those popular ballad style songs, but he's got a very, very powerful performance, stage presence. I don't know. We'll have to see what happens there. Top 10 time. Number 10, Monika Linkytė, Lithuania, Stay. Again, I love this song so much. In a top 10, I think it would be around 10th place, but she is so amazing. I really, really, really love this. I love this song better than last year's Lithuanian song, honestly. This one has way more soul to it, more power. It's just raw, emotional, and amazing. Number 9, Lazara from France, évidemment. A lot of people have had her as a front runner for a while. She's very elegant. She's very bold. France last year didn't do super well, which is I loved France's song last year. France's song last year was my favorite French song in a lot. Well, it was not even sung in French. It was Brittany, but still, I loved France's entry last year over a lot of French entries recently. This one is kind of like reminiscent of Barbara Pravi, but elevated and more show-like. I didn't really care for Voila, honestly. I know, sacrilege, but I'm just being honest. But Lazara has a good chance, I think, to be a top 10 finisher. Number 8, Vesna. I have them in my top 5. I think that their song is amazing. They put on such a good stage show. There's a lot of uniting of countries, uniting of languages, uniting of feminine power. I just think this is a top 10. Number 7, Future Lover by Brunette. Beautiful song. The staging is amazing. The juries are absolutely going to go wild for that. And I think the televotes are going to like her too. But I also think that Noah is going to steal votes to get a little bit of a higher place for Israel. Alessandra, number 6, just like she is number 6 in my personal favorites. I think she's probably going to be either in this place or top 5. It's really going to come down to the fans tuning in that really love her from TikTok and so on. And as I mentioned before, grand final does tend to bring in more people watching than the semifinals do. So who knows? She could even be in the top 3, top 4, top 5. But I'm putting her at number 6 as a kind of a safe bet. Number 5, Taya and Selena, Austria. Who the hell is Edgar? It's such a bop. It could even go higher than this, but I think this is a safe place for them compared to what's coming next with the other stronger entries in terms of vocals and performance in general. But honestly, I do think that Austria is going to be top 5 for sure. If not top 5, I'll be very surprised, but they will be top 10. And just because they're going first doesn't mean that they're going to be forgotten. People love this song. Po, 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 gets stuck in your head. Like, there's a dance to it. It's got everything. It ticks all the boxes. They're safe. Number 4, Noah. Again, like I said, she's probably going to take the check boxes off of or the votes away even from Brunette. Just the whole package is amazing. The song is disjointed, but at the same time, there's so much going on constantly, and she's a consummate performer, and she really puts out a great polished performance. Absolutely, I would not be stunned if this was like top 4. We have Spain again, Blanca Paloma. A lot of people say she, of the big 5, is going to be the one that's going to be the dark horse that could even win for Spain. I still don't think so. I still believe it's going to be Sweden or Finland, which brings me to number 2, Finland. Cha cha cha. The jury is probably not going to like him as much as they like Loreen, and of course Loreen has the staging anyway, and the whole performance overall. But we might get a surprise there, and maybe the televote will elevate him enough past the jury points to get to number 1, which of course I have Loreen as well. It's going to be neck and neck. It's been neck and neck for a long time, and that's what makes this particular year's contest even better, because it's so neck and neck between these two. Even if it is just between the two countries, honestly, it's still neck and neck, and it's gotten more so, closer as we go along. In previous years, it hasn't really been like that in recent memory, but now we have had this, and I think it's a really close race to see what happens here. So, yes, that's it. This is a very long video. It's 45 minutes. I'm so sorry, guys. But if you managed to stick around for it, thank you for doing so. I'm excited to see if I'm right or if I'm wrong, or what places are. I would probably just shit myself if I was correct completely in either one of my predictions there. I know they're a little out there compared to some others, but that's just how I see it. So we'll put that out there, and then I'm going to watch the grand final tomorrow. I'll check in occasionally and as it's going on, and then I'll watch the whole thing later and put out a video after the fact, either on Saturday night or Sunday. But just super excited. Let me know what you guys think. And yeah, I will see you next time. Jamatane mina. Have a wonderful day, and enjoy the grand final tomorrow.